Alright guys, welcome to Guitar Setup Saturday. Today I'm looking at this is a Specter. This is a 5-string and it's fan fretted. So let's take a look here real quick. I'm going to put the tuner on here. We'll take a look at this low string, and it's in B. It's a little out of tune. The E string is in close to E, there it is. So it's in standard tuning. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove this thing, which is sort of like a string dampener. This is just a basic string change out, and this fan fretted thing, I've seen a couple of them. I had a Kiesel guitar that was fan fretted. And look how easy it comes out of here. Boom. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all 5 strings off. But yeah, I remember as a kid, I think Rush had this on their 2112 album cover. And of course Motley Crue used it. And I don't know if Black Sabbath ever went there. But even as a kid, when I saw that pentagram on the Rush album, I was like, come on, really, Rush? All into the devil and everything? All right, a little F1 oil on here. All right, so what's interesting about this guitar is if we look at the scale length on the low B string, it looks to be 37 inches. And then on the G string here, it's 34. So it goes from 37 to 34. Today's string choice. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and throw some strings on it. So this is getting stainless steel bass strings, Payson fanned bass strings, 37 through a 34. Made in USA, PaysonBass.com. So, pretty unique set of strings here. So let's see what we got. The low bass string is a .130, super extra long. Yeah, I had that baritone guitar the other week and I couldn't even find strings for it. So here we go. Super extra long strings. Just going to lay that right down in there like that. And we're going to cut off, say about that much. There we go. Insert it down in there. Okay, our next one is a 105, super extra long. And then we've got an 85. Yeah, so guys, you might want to check that out if you got one of these giant fan fretted things. Payson fanned bass strings. And we got a 65. And then finally a 45 gauge for the G string. And what I will do is I'll take his old strings and I'll do one of these kind of things. And we'll give these guys right back to him and put him back in his case. Give him his old strings back. I bet these things are a little expensive. Don't know for sure. I can imagine that they are, though. We'll put these back in his case. That's sort of how it looks all strung up down on this end. Really cool guitar. Nice weight. The guy that owns this bass, good friend of mine, his name is Haas. And he used to be my bass player back in '07. We had a punk rock band together called the Fed Ups. Because we were fed up. And we had a pretty good band together. He was in the band, I think the year was '07. 2007. And I remember we did a gig with Jeff Dahl, who was in the Angry Samoans. And I think we might have did a show with Agent Orange. So we played some gigs back then. When you hit the harmonic, the snark has an easier time of reading it for some reason. Hit the harmonic at the 12th fret. If you're a bass player and your snark doesn't want to read it, look at this thing, right? Wow. Fishman pickups. Alright, let's move on to the next guitar. This video is brought to you by Swiss Picks. It's not just a pick, it's a science. Available at ZIMM'S Guitars or at www.swisspicks.com. Okay, part of Guitar Setup Saturday. It's an acoustic, the Fender California series. It's got the cool Fender electric headstock design, maple neck, really cool guitar. I've seen a few of these and that have come in and gone through the store. But you know what's weird about this one? I think these strings are electric strings. So it looks like it has a set of 10 through 46. So, yeah, I think this has electric guitar strings on it. So we'll see what happens when I put actual acoustic strings on. I think it's really going to help. And the second thing that I'm thinking is because I plugged the guitar in and it's very quiet. Okay? So it's hardly giving us anything out of the amplifier. So I'm pretty sure that's because these are electric guitar strings on an acoustic. Fender Sonoran, California series. Alright, real quick, going to hit the frets. A lot of time on acoustic guitars, this isn't that important because a lot of guys aren't playing leads and doing, you know, string bends and stuff like that. But I'm going to, just because it takes a second, I'm going to shine these babies up a little bit. This guitar has very small frets. But these are very popular guitars. Because of the neck on here, having this Strat style neck. Super cool looking. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if the neck is straight. I just hold it up like this, and yeah, it's got some relief in it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to snug that truss rod down a little bit. You can see that the wrench fits right in here. I think I have the right wrench. It's easy to get to. Sometimes these are a real hassle to get the wrench in there. See what happens here if we tighten that a little bit. Okay, that is snug. That thing does not want to move. So we're not going to mess with it anymore. You know, but real quick, I will take this and we'll take a look and see if it got any better. Pretty good. The neck's a little wavy on this guitar. She is a little wavy. And a lot of time acoustic guitars have a high fret. Right here, the 14th fret is usually high. So sometimes your notes don't play and ring out very well. Right at the 12th fret, you know, because this fret is always high. 14th fret on a lot of acoustics. I mean, a huge percentage of used acoustic guitars have that high 14th fret. We do have a little bit of wear, or something's going on right here. So, not sure what that is. But I just put my Music Nomad F1 oil on there, and it didn't even get rid of it. So, yeah, something's going on right here. All right. Now the bridge is laying, this plastic piece is laying really far down in there. And that might be part of the reason that the pickups don't sound so good, the pickup in it. Let me see if I can, and I think I see a shim in there. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah. So, somebody put a shim in there that they cut out of something. And maybe I should, let me look in my parts. Let me see if I have a better bridge piece than that. I have some new ones. And I think they might be a little tiny bit taller. Yeah, that one fits in there nicely. Alright, let me see if I have one of those shims in here somewhere. Yeah, here's one. So here's what I have, and it's plastic, and they make them just for this. And so I'm going to lay that down in there. Then we're going to set that back down in there like that, and we're going to go with that. Let's throw some strings on this one. Today's string choice. Bam! Earthwood Extra Light 10 through 50. He liked his string gauge, But I was telling him, I think somebody put, you know, a set of 10 electrics on there. And so we decided to go with these extra lights because it's going to feel, you know, similar to what was on there. Okay, so here we go. Let's throw these things on there. Oh, my string winder. I should have had her plugged in. I think my Ernie Ball string winder is on its last leg. I think she's dying. I've had that thing probably 3 years now. Maybe 2.5 or something. But the last couple of videos that I've done, she's been running really slow. Doesn't seem like it's got the power it used to have. Bridge pins feel nice and blow in there perfectly. Okay, put these over here like that. And let's do this low E string. Okay, let's see. Here we go, guy. Can you do it? How you doing today? How you feeling? Okay. Sometimes those bridge pins will just fly right out of there. Yeah, plug that girl back in. There you go. Charge up now. Okay, she's all strung up. On to the next guitar. Okay, so here's what's next on the bench, and it is a T-style guitar, and it is made by Series 10. You can see that they've got all the strings wound around here, the backwards. Everything's running off this direction, but I can fix that. And we can also see that the nut on this is completely destroyed, so going to try to put a new nut on here and clean it up a little bit, and let's see if we can get this thing going. Okay, let's see now. Let's test the electronics. It's got some scratchiness in there. Okay. So let's spray that out. So these are kind of easy to get going and spray them out, because instead of taking the back plate off, you take it apart right here with just 2 screws. Okay, and this should lift off of there just like that. Okay, everything's looking good under there. And then I take my electronic spray cleaner and we just run a dab of it in there. Do the same to the tone. Okay, that was way too much. Then we can spray down our little 5-way switch too. Okay. Then just spin them around a bunch of times. Work that dust out of there. It's just dust. This stuff dries really quickly. And I've never noticed it to hurt a finish on a guitar. I know there's other brands, but this is the stuff I get at AutoZone. CRC QD electronic cleaner. And the guitar, if you spray it onto an amp to get some scratchiness out of amplifiers, it works for that too. Okay, so put these 2 screws back in here. This thing with the clear pickguard kind of reminds me of like the floral gem, right? You guys have seen those? Right, so it's just that simple. Right, let me go ahead and remove these strings here. Yeah, they're all wound up here backwards. Maybe that's why the nut got broken. I wish somebody could come up with another name for the nut other than being called the nut. Right? Any of you guys ever thought of that? About that? Why did they call that the nut? So this is a top loader. The strings come straight out of the bridge right there. Okay, let's see if we can get this out of here. I see a lot of glue residue all over the place. And what happens a lot of times is the rosewood that's right here, it'll chip. Here's what I should do. Let me grab my scalpel. And I'll see if I can run this down across here. Because that's tough when you end up messing up all the rosewood that's along here. That doesn't seem like it's going down in there very good. Hopefully all this glue is not super glue. If it's super glue, we're gonna have problems here. Okay, let's put my arm on it. Yeah, so far this is not looking good. Yeah, this is not looking good. I think I use super glue here. Let's try it again here. Yeah, well, it's the top piece of it broke, but I'm just so worried about the rosewood breaking on this side of the nut right here. This might be a tough one. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Not sure how to handle this. don't know, maybe it's just regular wood glue. Try again with this a little bit. You know, if Dave's World of Fun Stuff was going on, he would turn the camera off right now. And guys, if you're learning anything from this, me beating on this thing, is that don't ever use super glue. Use just a little tiny dab of like an Elmer's glue or something like that, or a little Elmer's wood glue or something, or even some Tite Bond. A little tiny little drop. You don't need to super glue these things down in here. Damn it. See, I knew it. I freaking knew it. Got this little piece that came off. Okay, well, I'm going to save that. I'm going to try to put it back in place with a little super glue. No, I'm not going to use super glue. Okay, let me see if I have a file that I can run through there. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but what can you do, right? Don't use that. Okay. Just gonna kind of scrape it a little, just to get some of the old glue residue off of it. Alright. Let's see if I have a nut that will fit in there. Okay, so I found a replacement nut for it, and it seems like it fits in there really nice. So I'm going to use a little tiny bit of Tite Bond. And I'm going to lay it in there, and I'm just going to use a little bit, right? A little bit more. Just need enough glue on it to hold it in position so it doesn't move around. Definitely don't need super glue. I know I keep saying that, but guys, do not use super glue. Okay, there we go. Let's lay that down in there. Yeah, and see, it's smooshing out on everywhere. And then you take your thumb and your finger and you just position it right in the center. And I think that's pretty good. So let's let that dry up a little bit. And then I'm going to try to set this little piece back in there too. Same thing, a little tiny bit of wood glue. Don't know if this is going to be any good. Yeah, it's not really laying in there very nicely. I need that T. Woodford YouTuber guy, right? Leave that right there and let that dry up. I know it doesn't look good, but this is a very inexpensive $100 guitar repair. But I mean, that shouldn't matter if it's an expensive guitar or a very cheap guitar. Gotta try to do the best that you can. And I knew that that rosewood was going to break, but yeah, that's what we ended up with. Okay, let's get a pack of strings for this old girl, and let's put some strings on it. Made in Korea. Series 10. I remember these things. These were cool. I had one that looked sort of like a Charvel. Okay. Super Slinky. Ernie Ball. 9 through 42s. Let's see what happens here. Adjusting saddles, trying to get them somewhere where they belong, somewhere close. Okay, we got one of the saddles right here where I can't move that, so I'm going to try to put a little dab of 3-in-1 oil on it. And hopefully I don't make a giant mess here. There we go. Because this guy right here does not want to move. She is stuck. Okay, there it goes. Save the day, a little 3-in-1 oil. I think I can lower the E string just a tiny bit. Try to get this to a nice radius. There we go. What is the radius of this guitar? I wonder. Let's take a look at this. I have a feeling it's probably about a 10. Yep. Let's try what the 12 says. Yeah, I'm going to call this a 10-inch radius on that. So you try to get the saddles at that same radius. Alright, one time let's take a look at the neck now and see where she's at. So unfortunately, after all this, the truss rod adjustment is down here in the heel of the guitar. So unfortunately, I can't really get to that because this guitar was a basic restring and mostly put a new nut on there. If I come in nice and close here, we can see the final results. of that horrific time I had with that nut. And it looks pretty good now. The guitar is playing. And yeah, so it wasn't a complete disaster. I like these Series 10 guitars, believe it or not. They made clones, and they were pretty good for making clones of other guitars.